Hello to you there. Welcome to Quintessence TV, and today we'll be talking about how to make career choice, how to make your career choice. Um, as a career starter, or you are in the mid level, you're trying to make a change, you are in the right video. And yes, career is just like what you do for money, for value, and what people pay you for. So how do you make that choice? How do you decide what you want to do? Maybe you want to be in the 9 to 5 space, or you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to do business, you want to be in the entertainment industry. How do you make that choice? Yes, we're going to be spilling on it today. So first is self-assessment. Yes. Like before you can say, oh, this is what I want to do, you need to look inwards, like, okay, what do I have? And there's something that is true with everybody. No one is actually empty. So the question is, do you know who you are? Do you know um, what you have? I would like to ask you that question. You can pause the video to actually think about that, or just the question down. By the way, you can like to pick a pen and a jotter. Yes, that journaling is good to like take down this point because you're definitely going to need them. Okay, I'm going to be talking about the IKEA method. So IKIGAI. So I'll be putting it at any of the corners in this video for you to see what it actually is. So it has it's like several circles in one because we have different parts to us as human beings. So, and if you have different interests, you might be thinking, oh, how do I pick what interest I have to focus on? So the first thing I would like to ask you is, what do you love doing? Like, what's your passion? What do you love doing? Like, if they paid you for it or you're not paid for it, you would continue to do this thing. So that is your passion. What are the things you love doing? And the second I would ask is, what does the world need? That's like mission. So we might start a career also based on what you know is a particular need in your environment, in your community, or you know the world that like actually needs solution to this. If there's something about business, about people that actually can make change, like they do great things, there are people that provide solution. They see problem as opportunities, not stopping, but don't have a negative view to what problem is, what to problem generally. So what do you think is a need around you that you know that you can solve? So that's another question. You can think about it. And another thing is, what skill do you have? Like that's the third question. What do you know that you can be paid for? So for some people, it can be as little as, oh, you know how to snap great pics. You might be snapping with your phone, and people always call you to come and help them snap pictures. That is a sign like you're good at doing this. So what skill do you have that you can actually be paid for? So no matter how much you say, oh, you want to do something. For instance, if you say, oh, I'm interested in IT, I love let me give an example, cloud computing, and you don't know jack about programming, you say that you have passion for it and you don't know anything about it. Is that you go and learn it or you pick something else? So, like, what skill do you have? And the fourth question, I'll be talking about your profession. What are you good at doing? So, there's a difference between knowing how to do something and you find it effortlessly, like you do it effortlessly. So, what are the things that you're actually good at doing? And if you can have one, two skill or particular thing in the circle of two or three of these, you're good. So what you know that you can be paid for. For instance, if you're good at something, if you have a particular skill and you know that people can pay you for this skill, and that's a jackpot for you. You love doing it. People are ready to pay for it, and thank God it's a solution to a particular problem. Like it ticks all the boxes. So that is when I'm talking about self-assessment. And this also has to do with your values. So all this has to do with your values. There's some jobs that some people will not do because they're not comfortable with it, and some jobs that people would love to do because they have the passion for that particular type of job. So that is key when it comes to what's it called, self-assessment is important. You need to know who you are and what you want to do. Okay, talking about the next step is for you to make a list. I've said a lot of things. I've asked you 4 major questions. What do you love doing? What does the world need? What can you be paid for? And what are you good at doing? Your skill. So if you can answer these 4 questions, like make a list of careers under each of these and now start juggling it together. So if you notice I'm not really talking about what you studied in school. So because if you actually master the skill or the art of what you study in school, that should be answered under the question of what are you good at. So for instance, if you study medicine, so definitely you are thinking towards being a doctor. But there's some people that just study medicine for the face value, like they are not interested, they want to do something else. So as much as it is good for you to work in line with what you studied, don't let that box you. Don't be limited by what you studied in school. We are in this generation whereby we are influenced by our skill, what you can do, what can you deliver. So that is very important. So back to my second point, make a list. Like make a list of all these skills that you have, your interests, and by the time you have it in writing, you have it in this box, then you can start thinking, oh, I think I can bring this and this together. That is when your uniqueness start coming out. You start thinking, okay, I do this. For instance, if you are the person into you love doing makeup, you also love doing content creation. You can see that you love sales. You can bring everything together. So you can do your makeup, you can do content around it, and you can sell beauty products. You can make that into a business. So that's an example. For instance, so if you if you have a particular skill, you can try to manage your points, your key strengths together. So, and at this point, you need to start making research. This is a career. This is not an hobby. So it's definitely anything that is in this list that is not marking the 4 points. I would advise you to drop it. Not like you don't want that to be your major career. You don't want to do something that you don't love. You can't keep doing it because you need so much motivation. You want to keep pushing yourself to keep showing up every day. Why do you want to give yourself that kind of punishment for the rest of your life or for the next 10, 20 years doing something you don't like doing? So, and also you don't want to do something that people don't want to pay you for. I remember growing up, I love bead making. Like I love making a particular type of bead for necklace. I make it for shoes, slippers, decorate beautiful pieces. But I noticed that in my current particular environment, then it was difficult for people to appreciate it or even pay. So people actually appreciated it, but when it comes to paying for it, it becomes a challenge. And I saw that okay, in this community of people I am, there's a little I can do with people being able to pay for it. Then I had to change. I had to make a change. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to add other accessories. I'm going to be selling jewelry. And I changed my environment to accommodate that market. So you can't force people to buy something that, okay, it's not moving. So you have to make sure that, okay, it is checked. So you have to do your research. And then there's some particular skills that you can't, will I say, if you want to live a particular lifestyle, you can't live that lifestyle doing those particular job. For instance, if you say you want to be teaching in a secondary school or in a primary school, you can't have a certain lifestyle except you do something that is out of the blue with it because there's a regulated salary scale in that particular field. So you need to look at that also. What do you want out of life? So for instance, you want something, you want freedom with time. So definitely you are thinking of an hybrid job or something that you can work from home. So that is also things that is important to people now that wasn't really reckoned previously. So you need to make extensive research. I remembered when I was way younger, I was thinking, okay, I was going to go into pharmaceutical chemistry, but I had interaction with some people, with someone that was actually doing a PhD in that course, and I was like, no, I don't think this is for me. So I think that is where you conduct informative interviews. So I would call that step 4. Conduct informative interviews. Like speak to people that are actually in this field that you are thinking of going to. You are interested in design, UI, UX, graphic design, web design. How do you coordinate colors, interior design, all those things? Do you like? Are you creative? Is this something that you love, and or you just like being yourself? Or you say you want to be a data analyst and you don't like to say numbers at all. You don't like even playing around numbers. So how are you going to get to do the job? So like you need to like know the seen and unseen parts of this particular career line. What are the sacrifices that people that go through this? For instance, being a medical doctor is so glorified, but you don't know how many hours being a nurse it's so great. You don't know how many hours they put into training, into retraining, and even their daily life working for 12 hours non-stop. It's good for some people, and some people cannot just do it. They don't have that. Even if they do it, they won't enjoy it. So you need to know what you enjoy doing. So conduct informative interviews, ask people that are in that field. So then you can make your choice. So that's the next point. You can now make a choice. Okay, you can, by the time you have few options, you can say, okay, I'm going for this particular thing. I'll do this. And I'm going to add another point at this point, which is not the last point, but that is the foundational point. But I'm introducing it at this point so that you know that no matter how much research you've done, there's still a God factor. Like, let God direct you, let God lead you in what you're doing. So even while you're doing your personal assessment, while talking about your values, trying to know who you are, your skills, what you love doing, and all those things, let God lead you, let God guide you. Let your value be based on God, on Christ. So don't just do everything out of head knowledge alone. So sometimes you might not have a clear picture of what the future looks like, but by standing on the wings of the person that knows the future, so you can actually make better decisions. And at this point, you've made a decision of, okay, I'm bringing this and this together, and you are bringing a combination of your uniqueness and delivering it to the world. And you now have goals. So, for instance, if it's something like, okay, you want to pursue, but you don't have so much skill, you need to like create what goals to learn that particular skill. Then, okay, what's the timeline for this? In the next 6 months, what should I have done? In the next 1 year, what should I have done about this? Then you create milestones for yourself. Then be ready to review. That's the last one I'll be saying. Be ready to review. Don't just say, oh, I've made this choice, I'll continue at it, even if it's not working. No. Ready to come back, ask yourself a question. Is this working? I'm not saying that immediately you have a challenge or immediately you discover that this thing is not working the way you planned it, then you pull back. No. There are times that you know, okay, this is a challenging period. Things are going to go better, you're going to get better, and you know you're making progress, even though it's not seen physically. But there are times that it is obvious that it's not working. Like, this is not for you. Don't be too shy or don't be too proud to say, okay, no, I think I need to make a detour and change paths or incorporate something new into the way I think I want to do this. So be ready to incorporate something, be ready to say, okay, I want to channel my path, even though I'm doing this, but I want to do it in a different way. So be open to feedback, to review from others and from yourself. So don't just keep working on autopilots, ready to look inward again and see that, okay, this career choice I've made is actually working for me, or I want to make a change. And I hope you've learned one or two things in this video. And I would like to encourage you, like, follow, share with somebody that's trying to make a choice. And if you have any question, so please feel free, drop it in the comment section. See you later. Bye.